Welcome home. Alright, so I know I'm super late on this. However, we're going to be going over 2 inside the vaults for Fallout 76. One on the Wild Appalachia preview, brewing and stilling, and the other being on the 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗏 seasonal event and patch 7 preview. So starting with the Wild Appalachia preview, brewing and distilling. As we start moving down the road toward our next patch, we're ready to share more details on what's coming in Wild Appalachia this March. Starting with a crash course on the all-new brewing and distilling crafting system. Grab a glass and start reading. Or should I say, start listening. Starting off with the new quest, Wasted on 𝗦𝗢𝗧. Your path to becoming the Wasteland's premier bartender will begin near Vault-Tec University. There you will relive the glory days of VTU's finest and discover the mischief they got up to outside of the classroom. Your continued studies will lead you to a notorious speakeasy, introduce you to 𝗦𝗢𝗢𝗥𝗧, Appalachia's tippiest robots, and teach you to craft the illicit 𝗦𝗢𝗧 using the all-new brewing station, which leads us to the new crafting system, brewing and distilling. The brewing station is a workbench that you'll learn to construct during the Wasted on 𝗦𝗢𝗧 quest. This crafting station can be placed in your camp and is used to create a variety of adult beverages, including beers, cocktails, wines, and spirits. Be mindful of the refreshments you toss back, while each will impart you with a temporary buff. Also, each bring a drawback, and just like real life, will result in a mild hangover. Some drinks, such as wines and spirits, require additional fermentation time before they're ready to be served at your next shindig, and their effects will become even more potent the longer you allow them to ferment. During Wasted on 𝗦𝗢𝗧, you'll also learn to craft the fermenter. Build one of these in your camp and place drinks within to reduce the wait time needed to try your latest creations. Here's a flight of drink selections to give you just a taste of what you'll be able to brew up with this new crafting system. There are many more to discover. Wines and spirits. Wines and spirits require some fermentation time to take advantage of their full effects as a fresh beverage. Let them age long enough and they will change from fresh to vintage and gain additional, more powerful effects. Here's a look at a blazing spirit known as Firecracker Whiskey. So the fresh effect is your melee attacks will result in self-immolation, damaging both you and your attackers. And the vintage effect, in addition to its fresh effects, Firecracker Whiskey will set enemies on fire from your ballistic and melee attacks. So it looks like these effects will be quite out there, and they should be pretty interesting. Moving on to beers. Beers require fermentation, but they are best served fresh and do not have a vintage state. Become the ultimate predator with an ice-cold glass of Hoppy Hunter. The fresh effects of Hoppy Hunter is increased scope stability and damage versus animals, but reduced VATS accuracy. For mixed drinks do not require fermentation and their effects do not change. Gulp down a tick blood tequila sunrise. That sounds absolutely disgusting, and it sounds like it might actually give you a disease, to be honest, to sate your appetites. The effects include your successful melee attacks have a chance to inflict you with a disease, but may also refill your hunger meter. I don't know if that sounds worth it, to be honest. I think I would rather just eat food than having the chance of contracting a disease. That doesn't sound very exciting. Those of you looking to add these and other drinks to your mixology repertoire can quench your continuing thirst for knowledge by regularly returning to 𝗦𝗢𝗢. Each day you speak with 𝗦𝗢𝗢, you'll receive one of 2 new repeatable daily quests at random. The first will teach you new brewing and distilling recipes every time you complete it, and the second will put your taste buds to test as you experiment with the dubious effects of various drinks. Get ready for a long night. So just keep in mind the brewing and distilling update is coming March 12th, just 2 days away. I want to know from you guys, do you want to see me do a dedicated video on this, or do you want to see me do a live stream of playing the new quests and unlocking some of these new brewing and distilling crafting systems? Or do you want both? Let me know down in the comments section below. Moving on, 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗧 seasonal events and patch 7 preview. I understand. Probably pronouncing that wrong. But welcome back to Inside the Vault. As Wild Appalachia draws nearer, we're traveling to the town 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗧 to preview the first seasonal event in Fallout 76, which will be sure to shoo away those winter blues 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗡. Next, we're going to share a few highlights with you from patch 7, which we're planning to release next week. Just keep in mind this was posted a couple of days ago, so what they're talking about here is this week. So let's start with the new seasonal event, the 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗡. Each year since the founding of 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗣𝗍𝗑𝗧 in 1869, the townsfolk celebrated 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗣𝗑 by donning fantastic masks and parading through the decorated town. The festivities culminated by burning an effigy of Old Man Winter on the bonfire to signal the end of winter. The townsfolk may be long gone, but dutiful bots have kept the party rolling every year, and they welcome your participation. 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗣𝗍𝗑 is a repeatable, limited-time event quest that will be available for 1 week, starting on March 19th. You and any other dwellers who wish to take part must speak with the Master of Ceremonies in 𝗦𝗢𝗪𝗼𝗍 and then divide and conquer to find and aid the town's robotic shopkeepers in setting up for the annual parade. You and your compatriots will be asked to assist with a variety of party prep duties that will have you stepping on stage to play a cheery tune, choosing the perfect decorations, or exterminating some buzzing pests, among many other activities. If you find and aid the Protectrons quickly enough, they will be able to march in the parade. Be sure to remain vigilant. Times have changed since the pre-war days, and all that commotion is sure to attract some party crashers. Defend your marchers as they traipse around town, and then set Old Man Winter ablaze to banish the biting cold, earn some sweet loots, and even claim a festive 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗪𝗏 mask of your very own. The more marchers who survive the parade, the higher the chance you'll earn a mask, some of which are exceedingly rare. Here's a look at just a few that you can get by completing this event. There are many more, and masks can be traded. So put your charisma to the test by haggling with any dwellers who have a mask that catches your eye. Remember, no party lasts forever, and neither does this seasonal event quest. Complete 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗪𝗏 as many times as you like, grab as many masks as you can, and score new 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗪 themed camp plans before the celebration ends on March 26th. As for the patch 7 highlights, we're gearing up to release patch 7 this week, and it contains the first wave of Wild Appalachia game content, including the new brewing and distilling crafting system and quests we previewed last week, as well as balance and design changes and a ton of bug fixes. Full patch notes will be available on patch day, but here are a few highlights we're excited to share with you. Energy and heavy weapon balance. In patch 7, we're making some adjustments to greatly increase the durability of many energy and heavy weapons and increase their damage so you can take down enemies more easily, spend less time repairing, and more time looting. Here are the details. Starting with energy weapons. For heavy and semi-auto energy weapons, we've greatly reduced the amount of condition damage they take per shot. Your heavy energy weapon should now last 4 to 5 times longer, and semi-auto energy weapons should last twice as long before needing repairs. We've also given semi-auto energy weapons an additional damage boost of plus 10%, so they have a little more bites. For heavy weapons, we've reduced the fire rate for high rate of fire automatic heavy weapons across the board and increased their damage by plus 10%. Adjusting these weapons' fire rates gave us more room for a damage increase, which will help them punch through armor more effectively without increasing their baseline damage per second too high. Weapon damage for all other automatic heavy weapons has been increased by 10 to 20%. Like energy weapons above, we've significantly reduced the condition damage that automatic ballistic heavy weapons take per shot, and they should now last about 4 times longer before they need to visit a weapons workbench. We know that many of you have been asking for weight changes for heavy weapons. While we haven't addressed this in patch 7, we do have plans to make improvements with a future update, and we will let you know as soon as we have details to share. Camp and workshop budget adjustments. In patch 7, we're planning to make adjustments to the camp and workshop budget system that should allow you to build even bigger and fancier wasteland abodes. The amount of budget space that some buildable objects consume, such as turrets and lights, has been reduced, but they now also have a maximum amount that can be placed in your camp or workshop. The build menu recipes for these objects will show you how many are already present in your camp, including the ones you have stored, and the total amount of each you can place. There are several important aspects of camp and workshop budgets we must keep in mind when making adjustments, including how objects are used by players, overall structure balance, and even game performance. While the above changes aren't a direct increase to budget size, they should give you more overall budget space to build lots of cool stuff, while also allowing us the flexibility to further refine and improve balance and performance. Camp placements adjustments. Occasionally when we bring new content to the game, it may need to be placed somewhere that was previously usable as a camp location. We can't have camps and quests occupying the same space, and while we do our best to limit these cases, sometimes it's unavoidable. Starting with patch 7 and in future updates, we plan to add a few new no build zones to the game world that will prevent players from constructing camps in those areas. However, it's possible some players may have already built in these locations before they became no build zones. When this happens, affected players will be notified upon joining a world that their camps can no longer be placed, and they will be given a free camp placement as a result. We don't expect this will impact most players, but we hope this free move will help you find a new home for your home. Challenge tracking. With patch 7, we want to make challenges easier to keep an eye on as you make progress toward completing them, so you always know when that next reward will be on its way into your pocket. We're adding a new challenge tracking interface to the map, which you can use to quickly access the challenges menu whenever you'd like. As you scroll through your available challenges, you can now select and add them to the tracker, which will update as you make progress toward completing each one. Additionally, you will also receive a notification in-game whenever you make progress toward one of the challenges you've added to the tracker. And that is everything I wanted to cover here in this video. I will make sure to make videos on all of these updates on the day that they're posted in the future. I've just been really busy with a lot of behind the scenes stuff, which you will end up seeing here on the channel very soon, but that's all you get to know for now. If you want to be the first to know about it, and you want to be the first to watch it, you can become a patron for $1 a month and you get all the perks. I don't have multiple tiers on Patreon, as I just want everyone, no matter how much they give, because you can give a custom amount, I want everyone to get the same perks. So for $1 or more per month, you get a patron role in my Discord server, you get early access to all my pre-published videos, you get behind the scenes for what I'm working on, you get to be a part of occasional patron gaming sessions, and you also get rolling credit in all edited videos. So if that is something that interests you, I'll leave it linked down in the description below. And even though this video is late, I hope you found it informative. If you did, please smack that like button down below, subscribe to Join the Good Fight if you haven't already, and ring that bell icon to stay updated on all of my future videos. It'd be super greatly appreciated as always. And until next time, this is 𝗦𝗢𝗥𝗧 signing off.